We carry out excavations and foundations for large buildings. We do the groundwork for roads, railways and underground railways. We build canal locks. And we construct the foundations for bridges. There are further fields of activity surrounding this specialist foundation work. For example, environment technology, bridge building, sewage treatment works, or renovating buildings. We also design and construct machinery for foundation works, ranging from large rotary drills, trench cutters, and diaphragm wall grabs to much smaller units. These days our market is the world. The companies in the BAUER Group are active on all continents, carrying out specialist foundation works or selling and servicing machinery. It all started in the little town of Schrodenhausen in Bavaria. Over 200 years ago, Sebastian Bauer set up in business here as a coppersmith. Later generations turned to wells and water supply. After the Second World War, Dr. Karl-Heinz Bauer began to specialize in foundations. In 1958, his company invented the grouted anchor on a building site in Munich. Since then, it has been possible to tie back the walls of an excavation even in soft soil. The method was patented and the company grew on the strength of it. There followed large-scale construction projects in many German cities, mainly building underground railways. As a result, Bauer know-how became sought after in other countries too, in the Arab world in the 1970s, later mainly in the Far East. The company gradually grew in size, expanded in new dimensions. New business structures became necessary. The organization adjusted step by step. In the 1990s, Bauer became a joint stock corporation. Professor Thomas Bauer is the chairman of the board of BAUER AG and the seventh generation at the head of the family firm. At board meetings, corporate strategies are decided jointly. Divisional objectives are discussed and the results analyzed. And successfully too. In the past 25 years, total revenues have risen from 100 million euros to over 800 million. The group employs more than 5,000 people all around the world. BAUER AG is the holding company and also acts as a service company for the operative companies in the group. They are autonomous companies under the umbrella of BAUER AG. BAUER Foundations is active on construction sites all over the world. The contracts represent a challenge not just in technical know-how, but also in organization and logistics. These tasks are carried out in the project management department and in subsidiaries and field offices worldwide. In the past few years, BAUER Foundations has increasingly acted as a main contractor for large-scale projects throughout Germany. In the 1990s, we were involved in extensive rebuilding works in Berlin. We took part in infrastructure projects such as the Frankfurt-Cologne Intercity Express Link, helped to build Terminal 2 at Munich Airport and the Elbe Canal locks at Hohenwarte and Lauenburg. Our outlook extends far afield: the Arab world, the Far East, Africa, North and Central America. We build in hot desert climates or on the Arctic Circle. Wherever we're active abroad, we cooperate with partner companies and use local labor. People of all races and religions come together under the BAUER logo. The works are carried out by our specialist departments. Each department concentrates on a particular method, has its own specialized machinery and its individual expertise. Piling is one of our main fields. The technique has acquired new momentum thanks to numerous variants of foundation piles and piled wall systems. In the past few decades, we have worked constantly on improving all the methods involved in specialist foundation work, with innovations in pile boring, diaphragm walls, and different methods of soil treatment. For BAUER, developing new construction methods is a tradition and at the same time a commitment. Our construction techniques department follows every innovation, checks and tests it, and looks after our numerous patents. Besides our main field of specialist foundations, the BAUER Group also carries out various related works. BAUER and Maurik Environmental Engineering is active in clearance of hazardous sites, including decontaminating soil and groundwater, and has an experienced plant construction department. Schachtbau Nordhausen is engaged in bridge building and other civil engineering projects. It also constructs complete sewage treatment works and has an experienced machinery department. Our subsidiary Speser restores and renovates historic buildings. These two companies together represent the third largest employer in the North Thuringia region of the former East Germany. In the last 30 years, equipment construction has become the second main pillar of the BAUER Corporation, alongside building works. BAUER Equipment has been an autonomous company since spring 2001. It designs and constructs machinery for foundation work. The tradition of mechanical engineering goes back to 1970, when BAUER found there was no suitable equipment for the new methods it wanted to introduce in foundation works. Only a few years after the first anchoring drill, we produced the first large rotary drilling machine. In the 1980s, there followed the breakthrough with trench cutters. BAUER Equipment is now a combine of several companies working in this field. Klemm Bohrtechnik is our specialist company for anchor technology. Eurodrill are experts for drifters and rotary drives. Schachtbau Nordhausen build undercarriages for drilling rigs and trench cutters. MAT specializes in mixing and separating drilling slurries. RTG is the company for sheet pile drivers. Our machines are assembled at several sites. The large machinery comes from our factories in Schrodenhausen and nearby Aresing. BAUER Equipment looks after its international clients with a network of sales offices and site support offices all over the world. But we don't just sell machinery, we also pass on our drilling know-how, provide technical training and on-site support for our customers. Our after-sales service is quickly available, even in the furthest corners of the earth. Every 3 years, BAUER Equipment shows its products at the Bauma Trade Fair in Munich. In the years in between, there are presentations at our premises in Schrodenhausen. Guests regularly come from all over the world to see our own exhibitions. They particularly welcome the visits to construction sites where they can see the equipment and the techniques in action. Whether we're active in Tibet or in the Philippines, or preparing building ground in Abu Dhabi, or a cutter is sealing on the ground for a dam in the Himalayas, many threads come together at the head office in Schrodenhausen. From here, we look after the subsidiaries and the sites. Our people all over the world can turn to us for support. Besides the financial management of the whole group, the heart of our headquarters is the planning and design offices for our civil engineering and mechanical engineering operations. This is where our engineers put their in-depth knowledge into practice, and our courage to make innovations in all technical matters comes to the fore. Schrodenhausen is also our training center. At any one time, around 100 young people are learning various trades here. We see that our engineers and business staff are kept constantly up to date, and in our conference center we frequently welcome guests from all over the world, tell them about new developments and give them the chance to meet and discuss with the specialists, for example during our Schrodenhausen conventions. BAUER, leaders in advanced foundation technology.